Test, test, test. Can everybody hear me? Let's get my chat window up here so I can see what everybody's talking about. I'll pop out my chat. Pop out chat. Jesse B52, how's it going? How's my audio? Does it sound good? Not too loud? Wait for a few more people to get in here. As what it is, yes, bro, please give me one. I wish I could. Lewis H, good to see you. Always good to see you on the channel. Let me make this window bigger. Tomo, how's it going? Good to see you. All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and jump into some Cinebench. See what we got for our scores on there. Cinebench R23. But yeah, so far the HP Omen 45L is a pretty cool machine. It looks amazing. We've got this new cryo chamber right here. I don't know if you can see it. But what that cryo chamber does, if you don't already know, is it takes cool air from the outside, pipes it in, and cools this radiator that's connected directly to the CPU in here. So this cooling system right here affects only the CPU. So there's not preheated air that gets fed into there. It's all incredibly cool air from the actual room. So that's some pretty cool technology. Lewis H, I like seeing your videos. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Multi-core. Let's start the CPU multi-core on a 12900K processor. Jesse B52, how many months did it take you? Yeah, Dell really dropped the ball on those shipping times. That was insane. Had a lot of people complaining about that. So let me put the decibel reader on the computer right now, see what we're measuring. So I do have the fan in my room going on right now, but it's measuring 65 decibels. Oh, when I stop talking, it's 59. My talking was messing it up. 3.4 months to get your Aurora R13. That's insane. That's ridiculous. I've got my blue light, but I need some pink light in here. So far, it's rendering those buckets pretty quick. Paul Wright 7474. How's your day going? It's going pretty good. I can't complain. How's your day going? Justin, you're pretty quiet. My audio's pretty quiet. Super chat, Jesse B52. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So my audio sounds quiet, or I'm a quiet person in general. I can bring my audio up a little bit here. Let me crank it up. Test, test, test. It's a little bit louder. Jesse B52, appreciate that. Bad Boy Rex, roar. What's going on? Yeah, I still haven't seen that new Spider-Man movie. I want to see it really bad. Apparently, it's already in the top like 8 grossing movies of all time, something like that. Wow, Bad Boy Rex, you're doing a lot of roaring. Yeah, so sorry about the spam comments on my channel. Me and Mash IT have both been getting hit hard with those spam comments. So I figured the strategy of basically figuring out what they tend to say often, take those phrases and then put them in my flagged phrases list. So it's been cutting them down a little bit, but there's still some that are getting through. I don't know why the one Telegram at Justin Tech Tips name is still going on, because I've clicked hide him from channel and I've reported him to YouTube. So he should be blocked completely. I don't understand how his messages keep getting through. It sounds like nobody's fallen for it, or for the most part. There's this one person from China that has been complaining to me that I owe him $200 because he fell for whatever scam it was. Of the guy was saying that if you send $200 for something, he'll send you the computer, which is pretty insane. Is Dell G15 the best budget gamer? I have not tested out the G15 yet. I've heard good things, but that's one of the ones this year that I want to test out. I ordered a Razer Blade 17. I haven't gotten notification yet that it's going to be coming in. But what I'm really excited for is the Alienware M17 R5. That one's going to be awesome, or I hope it's going to be awesome. They said that it's going to be the fastest AMD machine of the year, so fingers crossed on that. Got 3 minutes and 30 seconds left. Yeah, I think the fan noise it's a little bit louder than what I expected. The Corsair was definitely quieter than this one. Fan noise has never really been something that has bothered me too much, though. Can I play EA Sports FIFA on a laptop with Intel integrated graphics card? I don't think that you're going to have a good experience with that. Daniel, how's it going? I'm playing GTA 5 Xbox Series Edition / PS5. Does that mean you're playing on both the PS5 and the Xbox? Or you're playing a game that was ported from one of those systems? That blue light seems a little intense. All right, only got about a minute left. Yeah, I really wanted to get the Xbox Series X to review way back when it came out, and it just, for one, my channel wasn't big enough to get anything or any review units. And number two, I just could not get my hands on one, and I was not ready to spend way over price on eBay to get one. I did do a PS5 review though, because I lucked out with having an account with Nebraska Furniture Mart, and got an email from them saying that there was one available, or there was some available, and jumped on that really quick. Nice, you jumped on next gen right when next gen came out. That's awesome. All right, so we got a multi-core score of 23,812. Let's go ahead and type that in, see how that compares to our last two 12th gen desktops. Scroll all the way down. So what did I say? 23,000. 23,812. So it did better than the Corsair. That's understandable because it was an i7. But it was just slightly shy of the Aurora R13. Let's check out the single core score. Didn't realize the M17R5 was being released this year. How do you think it will compare to the X17R2 performance? I predict it to be slightly faster. Every time that there's a new AMD chip that's newer than the newest Intel chip, it seems to be a lot faster. How do you come up with your YouTube channel and what made you want to become a YouTuber? Um, well, after COVID hit, I lost my job I created stage design, 3D elements. I basically, corporate events, their stages were like your typical corporate event on steroids, and they wanted everything to look really nice, really cool. So I would create for a staging company, a really big one called JSAV in Dallas. Um, I created really cool designs, and we then pitched them to big corporations, and won a lot of really big shows because of these renders. But after COVID hit, um, obviously they let go 95% of their staff. Um, but recently I have been getting some freelance from them, so that's been nice to kind of fill in the gaps where YouTube isn't really making enough to pay for all the bills right now. It's making a little bit more each month, but starting a YouTube channel is definitely tough. It's hardly ever something that makes a decent amount of money right away. Do you know if the X14 can be downvolted through Intel XTU? I want something more portable than my X15. I have a feeling that it's not able to do that because on my X17 with an i7, I wasn't able to downvolt that. So I have a feeling that the X14 is the same way. Mayo Studio, good to see you. Generation 2434, what's going on, Tyler? Looking for a gaming PC anytime soon? Will the Aurora R13 come with an RTX 40 series once they're released in September? Um, I predict that they will be because the 40 series is coming out in September, or it's rumored to come out in September. So Dell tends to like to do their releases right when those happen so that they're the first machine that has the latest and greatest GPUs. Paul Wright, I know YouTube is hard. I'm starting my YouTube channel. It's called Mr. Cool Sound. Nice. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen Tyler's channel, he's actually a friend of mine here in Texas. Um, he talks a lot about end times, kind of, he knows a lot about the Bible in general, but he talks a lot about end times, just everything end times. He's a genius with um, current events and everything going on right now. But yeah, his streams usually have like 10,000 people all at once, all commenting. I think he picks like one out of every few hundred comments to actually be able to reply to. Yeah, I'm waiting for RTX 40 series. I think that's a good decision considering graphics cards aren't released very often. I feel like it would be kind of a waste if you don't have to buy a new machine right now. Obviously, people that bought the latest Aurora R13, I don't think that was a complete waste, but um, if you don't if you can wait and you don't really need one right now, then you might as well wait. Let's just see what happens by the end of the year. Just wanted to say hi. Thanks, man. Yeah, I'm doing a new test with this stream today. I'm doing a 2-part stream, so I'll be on. I'll be online for 5 hours today. I'm taking a break at 8 o'clock. I got to jump on a call, but then at 9 o'clock I'll be going from 9 to midnight, just to kind of connect more with my audience and give everybody some more information, because I feel like my streams are usually cut too short. I think this is a good machine to kind of walk everybody through the actual performance. So we got 2 minutes 50 seconds left. Oh, I missed Daniel's comment. What? Then R1 is greater than R2? Um, no, it's not. It's not faster, but the R1, it had cooler temperatures, which is understandable because the new Intel chips push themselves to their max, their limit, so they get pretty hot. Apparently, they're supposed to be able to withstand those temperatures without putting the computer in any type of uh, breakdown danger situation, but um, I like my machines to stay cooler. I also think that it was kind of a letdown that they removed the really cool RGB touchpad. Gilberto Mixter, how's it going? Thanks for the sub. Can I watch? Because I gotta go to sleep. Yep, I'll have this stream up right after it finishes. I think YouTube will do that automatically, actually. Yeah, I can't wait till the end of the year. I'm looking for a pre-built PC, and I'm going with anything that has an RTX 40. Do you think you're going to be going for the RTX 4090? I bet that's going to be incredibly expensive. I've also seen rumors on the amount of power that the graphics cards are going to take. Um, this new article was talking about basically it needing 1200 watts with the PSU in order to actually function. But then I saw some saying that the GPU itself was only going to need, I think it was 450 watts. So it's kind of hard to know who's right and which rumor is correct. Watching live on my Nitro 5 GTX 1650. Nice. How would you consider the Omen 45L to the R13? What's your experience with both? So far, on my first test that I did here, the multi-core score was just slightly lower than the Aurora R13. This is going to be a 2-part stream today, so I'm going to be in my second half of this 2-part stream. I'm starting that at 9 p.m. Central, and that is going to be only gameplay. I'm doing as much gameplay at the end after the Cinebench, Geekbench, and 3D Mark Time Spice scores after I get all of those, I'm going to be doing as many games as I can until 8 p.m. and then I got to jump on a call. But yeah, I think actual gameplay is what matters the most. So we'll see after all these tests who wins in that category. Have you enabled the RAM to run 3,733 megahertz on the Omen? I understand it ships at 3,200 megahertz default. No, I have not looked at that yet. I don't think Task Manager is going to ruin this. Let's see what we're working with right now. You are correct. Speed 3,200 megahertz. So I'm sure I need to go into the BIOS to fix that. Thanks for that. I did not hear that. Yeah, I definitely want to push that to the max. That cool. I love that I will subscribe to his YouTube channel. Can you put a link in the description? Oh, to Tyler's channel? Yeah, let me... Oh, somebody copied his account. Here we go. Put it here in the chat. Paste that. The ability to undervolt is the most important feature in a gaming laptop. That's why I said R1 better than R2. Oh, that makes... Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying there. But I believe Mash IT with his i9 was able to undervolt. It was just on my i7 version that I wasn't able to do that. GPU power draw is said to be between 450 and 600. I have a feeling, I have a feeling it's going to be closer to 450. 600 just seems like an insane jump. Believe you can change the RAM setting in the Omen Gaming Hub. Okay, I'll check that out. Del Boy, how's it going? Good to see you. Mark Shaw, hey Justin, love your content. Sorry I'm late to the party. That's all right. I'm going to be on here for 5 hours today. It's going to be my longest stream ever. Well, technically, since it's 2 streams, it's not my longest one single stream ever, but yeah, I felt like giving a little bit more today. All right, so we got 1,814 on the single core score. Let's see how that compares. So that is, wow, really? That's interesting. 18,014. It actually scored on the single core score in Cinebench R23. The Corsair Vengeance, oops. The Corsair Vengeance with an i7 actually beat this one out. That's interesting. Let's go ahead and jump into Geekbench. All right, I see some chats coming through out of the corner of my eye. Mark Shaw, because of you, I ordered an R13 and 11. I took Windows 11 off and installed Windows 10, and that fixes several issues I was having with it. I did the same thing. I did a test because my review was a week later than I wanted it to be because I spent a week on because it was such a big release and I knew a lot of people were wanting the most accurate information on that. I spent a week diagnosing, trying to figure out the why I wasn't getting the full max performance that I knew I could get. So I actually installed Windows 10 as well, but I didn't see a huge jump in my games when I did that. So maybe I was doing something else wrong. Logan Young, okay, I have a question. Should I buy the Alienware R10 with better specs or an R14 with less good stuff but better cooling? I would go for the R14. Oh, maybe I did mess up the benchmark when I open up Task Manager. I feel like that shouldn't affect it though. I'll run it one more time. Paul Wright, I just subscribed to this YouTube channel. Awesome, thanks for the sub. So, Logan, to clarify, I guess it depends on what you mean by with better specs. If you're going for a 3080 on the R10 with a i9 and you only get an i5 on the R14 or I guess the R14 is AMD. Yeah, I guess it depends on how big of a difference those specs are. But I think as far as future proofing your machine, the latest R13 and R14 are the best Alienware desktops to get to last you the longest. And if somebody creates a good YouTube video, I didn't want to do this just because I don't have experience with that yet as far as modifying the cables, their proprietary cables, to put in a more powerful PSU. For upgradability, there's enough room for a new GPU in there as long as it's not way thicker. It's got the length in order to put one of the 40 series GPUs inside of it. But as far as the PSU, you're going to need more power for the newest series for sure. And I'm sure somebody's going to figure out how to route that, but I did not want to risk frying my computer just for a YouTube video. I found a connector, an adapter with the right amount of pins, but I did some research on that, and just because it has the same exact shape module with the same pins, that doesn't necessarily mean that the cabling on the inside is going to route to the right pieces of your cables for your PSU. But I've heard of some people that fried their machine with that. Thoughts on the latest R13 3080 Ti with an i9? Usually, I don't think an i9 is that necessary if you're just gaming. Um, if you're going to be doing a lot of rendering with creative apps, I think it could be beneficial. But my experience with the 3090 on the R13, It was fast, but uh, I was hoping to be just a little bit faster. Although from the test that I'm doing today with the HP Omen 45L, it seems as though it's faster than the HP Omen. Price-wise, from the exact specs that I have on this versus the Aurora R13, um, the Omen is quite a bit cheaper. It's about $300 cheaper, but you don't get PCIe 5.0, so it's going to be harder to upgrade this to the latest generation of GPUs, so that's something to think about. Legendary Jason, I have no space for desktop, so I buy laptops. I'm stuck between Omen 17 2021 and 2022 and the RTX 3070 or an i7 12700H and an RTX 3070 Ti. Which one would you choose? That's a good question. I never think that it's a good idea, or not necessarily a good idea, but I never recommend an i9 in a laptop, so I think you're good there with choosing an i7. Um, but as far as the 11800H, um, I'd go with the 12th gen series. 3070 Ti is going to be pretty powerful too. TS Drizzy, hi Justin, should I get a laptop or a PC? Right now my budget is about $4,000. My personal preference is a laptop, even though you get less performance for your money with a laptop. Um, being a YouTuber and the other work that I do, and having kids, or especially my 2-year-old, having to come into my bedroom to get work done and focus, but then going out there to watch him. I'm constantly on the move, so it doesn't make sense for me to get a desktop when I have to be everywhere throughout the day. But my personal preference is mobility over the extra performance. My old case design that Dell made with their Alienware were trash. Yeah, they definitely stepped up on their newest series with their case. I still think that it could be bigger. Maybe with the next version, it'll be even bigger. Actually, it'll have to be bigger because the PSU is going to need to be bigger. They sacrificed a little bit of space with that little tilt that they had in there, because in the corners of the case, there wasn't room to put extra components efficiently. Mark Shaw, the only thing I'm a bit disappointed with the R13 is the power supply. It cannot be simply replaced. Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier. That was an issue, and I was hoping to figure out a way to solve it without frying my machine. But with all of the research that I was doing, and when I was looking at everything up close, I even bought a new PSU off of Amazon and a adapter that I was just about to make a video about, um, but I chickened out because I did some more reading about, just because the pins and the connector have the exact same shapes. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work, and that's the last thing I want to do is fry the computer. Does this Omen 45L have DDR5? No, unfortunately, it is DDR4, and there's no ability to have DDR5. For those of you that were wondering, I had a comment. You guys might know this, but I had a comment asking me to make a video on how to upgrade a machine from DDR4 to DDR5, and uh, basically the answer to that is that you can't do that. A DDR4 motherboard cannot have DDR5 RAM. Manmeet, yo bro, I play on Chromebook, but I play on GeForce now, so can you give me a GeForce account, please, bro? I'm not sure what you mean by that, but uh, no, I don't have. I I'm barely making enough money as it is with what I'm doing. I definitely don't have any extra income. All of these machines, for those of you guys wondering, I don't get to keep them. I have to send them back afterwards. So I'm still working with an M17 R3 as far as my main machine that I do all of my editing on. It's pretty decent until I start layering multiple 4K clips on top of each other. That's when it starts to kind of bog down a little bit. So I have to run proxies and things like that. Hey Amaze, I dealt with the same thermal throttling, but the first thing I did even before I plugged the R13 in was put new thermal paste in it. Awesome. Did you watch my video, Mark, on doing that for the 3090 GPU? What do you do with all the PC laptop that you buy? Well, I can't keep them, so I have to either return them or just give them back. You carry around an X17, show biceps. Yeah, the X17 was a heavy one. Someone needs to be banned from chat for spamming. Which one's spamming? I saw one guy that kept commenting the same comment over and over again, but he looked like he stopped. Mark Shaw, awesome. Thanks for becoming member. Appreciate it. All right, let's see what some of these other comments, questions. I'm buying my laptop for content creation and some gaming, basically. You know, my dream laptop for content creation is the Asus Pro Duo machines, the newest version of those. I didn't get the one from last year just because I was kind of late to the party, and by the time I was ready, I had time to review that. I didn't think that it was going to get that many views, considering so many people have already reviewed it by then. But I love that cool little extra display, that extra bar that gives you more functionality. So for content creation, let me go back to that comment. If you're going to be doing more content creation than gaming, the X series machines, from what I've tested, the Alienware X series tend to be slightly better, or the best that I've seen for content creation, and then the GE76 is the best for gaming that I've tested. As far as the quality of the screen, my favorite laptop that I've tested was what was it, the Gigabyte Aero 15. I think it was the Gigabyte Aero 15. You can scroll through my videos and look for Gigabyte. That one had a beautiful screen. It was an OLED screen. That display was my preferred display if I was going to be doing content creation only, and I had the money for that. Hi Justin, do you recommend getting a discontinued Ryzen 7 5th gen laptop or save for an Intel 12th gen one for someone on a budget? I would honestly save for the Intel 12th gen one. Anytime I buy a new machine, I don't like to take a step back as far as the processor. They're going to be getting faster too. They're still working out some of the kinks. I think with some of the newer updates with Windows learning how to use it in the most efficient ways and in games understanding it better, I'm sure we're going to be seeing better and better performance on the new 12th gen chips. You could come on Windows. You could make Mr. Cool Sound. Thanks for the sub. Glad to have you on. Come on Windows says you could make a video about how to upgrade your gaming PC from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Yeah. From everything I've seen so far, it doesn't seem to be that beneficial to upgrade from Windows 10 to Windows 11. Just seems like if you're gonna do it, you might as well just get a PC that has it on it already when you get a new machine. But yeah, I guess I could do a video on that with my current M17 R3. Amaze Productions, Mark Shaw, that's smart with applying new thermal paste. I had a cool tech and applied more thermal paste before installing the Cryotech. Oh, the silver membership. Awesome. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. Annihilator, do you think Intel is better than AMD? As of right now, yes. When the next series of AMD comes out, that will probably be a different story. It seems like every time there's a new update, they just kind of ping pong back and forth as far as who's better. Del Boy, I'm going to catch this tomorrow. Have a good stream, Justin. All the best. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. So, single core score, 1809. I didn't open anything else, and I got a lower score. Huh. That is interesting. Well, we're going to go ahead and jump into a Geekbench test. I'm going to close Chrome too, just to make sure that that doesn't do anything. That shouldn't mess up my benchmarks. Geekbench 5, this is usually a pretty quick test. Where are you, Geekbench 5? There you are. That was the slowest Geekbench 5 open I've ever seen. All right, run CPU benchmark. Annihilator, sorry for the errors. I'm French, no worries. Mark Shaw, I ended up getting a 3060 Ti, and I'm thinking of repasting that as well. It seems much easier too than the 3090. So with the 3060 Ti, are you noticing hot temperatures? Because it would seem to me like the 3060 Ti wouldn't really get hot to the point where it would be throttling, especially if it's a new 3060 Ti. Only reason I went with Omen 17 was because the X17 was too expensive. Yeah, it's pretty expensive. Mr. Cool Sound, what's your favorite video game and movie? Well, I'm gonna have to say nostalgia-wise, in high school, we had Halo LAN parties. So Halo has just been a staple of everything that I love in a video game. I tend to like first-person shooters, so I like Call of Duty games, but just the futuristic aspect of Halo, and I've gotten really good at it, and I know the levels really well. I'd say Halo is my favorite game, and uh, there's this other game that most people don't know about. My first game that I played on Xbox Live. That's the most game that I've ever played. I think my junior year in high school, I had a bunch of other buddies that jumped on Xbox Live, and that was the first time that we had played that type of game online with people. So it was really fun. It was this game called Mech Assault, where we had these large robots that went through cities and we were destroying the other team, but when you destroy the other team, it destroys buildings and stuff. The graphics look horrible now, but back in the day, we thought it was just the most cool thing ever. As far as favorite movie, that's kind of tough. I love the Avenger movies, but as far as my favorite one, that's a tough one. I like movies that anytime there's a movie with time travel, I get really into those movies. Butterfly Effect, that was a really good movie. Back to the Future movies, I love those. Time travel and how that affects the present is just fascinates me. All right, so we got a single core score of 1703. Let's go ahead and plug that in. Introducing people chips. What is this? Get out of here. All right, single core score. Sorry, what did I say? 1703. Multi-core 14139. Interesting. So these scores are lower than the Corsair Vengeance as well. So going into the gaming hub, I do have everything set to the max as far as the standard performance settings. Performance control, I have that the power mode set to performance. I've got thermal set to turbo. One thing I have seen in other reviews is that HP is, at least on this machine, has power limited their CPU to less than it should be. The most important factor is gaming though, so we're going to see how that is affected here in a second. Let's go ahead and do I like doing the CUDA. All right, let me check, see what some of these questions are saying. Daniel says, I have to go, Justin. It's late here in Europe. I would like to say that you're a smart guy and will end up being a big tech channel. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Annihilator, okay, thanks. Mr. Cool Sound, do you watch Mr. Beast on YouTube? I absolutely love Mr. Beast on YouTube. He's actually become a family channel. I have a 9-year-old son, and or one of my sons is 9 years old, and he loves Mr. Beast, so we both enjoy watching that. My wife isn't super into it, but when we have it on, she realizes it's great content. Geekbench 5 has left the chat. All right, 246.80. Interesting. So CUDA-wise is the highest that I've seen. Very interesting. All right, so a big one, an important one, 3D Mark Time Spy. Let's go ahead and see how that gets affected. Open up Steam. Come on now. What do you think is a better monitor brand? I think Alienware, they make very expensive monitors. I have an HP that I just got in. It's a 27 inch QHD. I think it looks amazing. But I haven't done too many reviews on monitors yet. I also have an LG monitor, which looks almost as good as the HP one. Steam Cloud error. Update queued. It's just a 2 megabyte update. It shouldn't take too long. All right, let's check out some of these questions. LAN parties in school is awesome. Halo, Call of Duty, Delta Force. Oh, another Rainbow Six. I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six. Delta Force, Black Hawk Down, Need for Speed Underground, Most Wanted 2005, and Carbon was awesome. Mr. Cool Sound, I like Halo, and my favorite movie is I, Robot with Will Smith. Well, did you hear about the fact that they're making a new one? Will Smith, I forgot who the other actor is going to be, but yeah, Will Smith is coming back, making an I, Robot 2. I just saw that the other day, actually. I love that movie too. Jacob says, hello, are you autistic with those schemes? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Um, oh, yes, Interstellar. Yeah, I loved that movie. Yeah, that's in my top 5, I would say. Yeah, you're spot on that. Yeah, it's just I don't know, time travel gets me. Have you heard of K5 Pro Viscous Thermal Paste? I was thinking of getting that for my GPU. I did hear about that. Somebody in the comments actually said that that should work better. Um, but from the research that I've done, it seems that the brand of thermal paste that you get doesn't make a huge difference. Once you get to the top tier, um, they're really all pretty good. About to push add to cart on the R13 12900K 3080 Ti. Go or no go? Your recommendation, please. I think that performance-wise, you're going to be happy with that. When I did a test with the Corsair Vengeance, I did a lower spec machine, but the performance on the Corsair was pretty close to the R13, and it was a 3080 with an i7. So if you like that one too, you might think about possibly getting that one. But I don't think that you're going to be disappointed with the R13, even though it should be a little faster. It is super fast. It's the fastest computer that I've tested. I love Mr. Beast. If it wasn't for Mr. Beast, I wouldn't have started a YouTube channel. Yeah, he is a dedicated guy. I heard about some stories about when he first started, and he sounded obsessed. And I think I mean, you kind of have to be obsessed a little bit when you're getting started, or else you're just gonna drown in the sea of everybody else's YouTube channels. People that just kind of make YouTube channels lackadaisically and don't really try that hard or put like an hour every few weeks into their channel, usually, unless they're a genius at what they're talking about and the information just flows through. They've got a lot to say. Usually you have to put a lot of time into a YouTube channel. I'm still learning a lot as I go. I don't think I'm ever going to stop learning how to make things better. I think in pretty much every video that I've made, I watch it so many times throughout the edit, and there's things that I need to fix, but there's always things that I wish I would have done better, things that I don't like in each video. But I just I run out of time, and it's like I just got to get the video out. It's taking too long to make some of these videos. Jacob says we follow war in Europe. Yeah, it's kind of sad seeing what's going on over there. Mark Shaw, and by the way, in case you didn't know, you can put a dual radiator in the front of the R13. Yeah, I was wondering if that was possible. I didn't really look too much into that, but that seems like you're probably right about that. Do you know when the new iRobot movie is coming out? That's a good question. Let me see real quick. I could have sworn I saw an article the other day. I'm not finding anything right now. iRobot 2 release date. Maybe it was one of those prank articles. Oh man, can't find anything on it. Maybe it wasn't real. We need to send iRobots to Ukraine. Yeah. Yeah, they need a lot of help over there. Yeah, I've donated money myself to the refugee charities. It's sad seeing how many people are getting displaced out of their home because of what's happening. There's no telling when and if they'll ever be able to go back to their homes. I can't imagine. It makes me really realize how little my problems really are in perspective. Quick question, do you think HP would let you review their Omen laptops this year, either the Omen 16 or 17? So on the last version, they actually didn't send me that. I purchased one and returned it. And my experience with returning the HP laptop, I've returned other laptops before. My experience with returning a laptop to HP was very frustrating. Eventually, I didn't have to pay a restocking fee, but they've basically set it up to where they're the most strict about those restocking fees. There's other computer companies that say that they may charge one, and then won't, but HP, I went back and forth with them, and then actually didn't charge me one, but For this HP Omen 45L, they didn't send me this, so I'm most likely gonna have to pay a restocking fee on this one. I hope that I get to the point soon where companies are just sending me all their latest and greatest things, because it is going to be very tough if I have to pay all these restocking fees, regardless of how many people purchase a computer based on the links that I send to their websites. Just kind of frustrating that I could get charged such a hefty restocking fee, especially because considering I take such good care of these computers. Mr. Cool Sound, I bet you're a big fan of Back to the Future. Yes, I am. I think Will Smith will be doing I Am Legend 2 with Michael B. Jordan. Not Legend. Oh, I Am Legend 2. That's right. Okay. Yeah, D. Grant is right. That's what I read. Not iRobot. Mark Shaw, have to run. Thanks again. Thank you, man. Appreciate you becoming a member. I already have R6 and R8. I'm okay with Alienware quality and support. Jacob Eckhart, what is your education? My education, I went to college in Orlando, Florida. Actually, it was Winter Park, Florida, at a school called Full Sail University. I got a bachelor's degree in computer animation. I was obsessed with creating 3D content. I wanted to do special effects for movies until I saw how incredibly hard that they had to work, how many hours they had to put in, and looked like you wouldn't really be able to have a life. But I did join a small visual effects company in Dallas, Texas. Uh, I was let go from there when, well, most of the company was let go when just work was slow. But then I joined the staging company doing 3D renders for them, and that was really fun. But yeah, I did really well in school. I was actually the valedictorian of my class for computer animation. But yeah, I put in a lot of late nights there. I used the Einstein technique of taking a lot of power naps throughout the night to get to work on projects really hard. There's this motto, something that they taught in the first class, is that hard work beats talent when talent refuses to work hard. And there was a lot of people, natural artists there, that could have been amazing 3D artists if they tried harder, but they didn't. So I ended up doing quite a bit better than they did. All right, so time spy score 17,730. Let's go ahead and type that in. So just barely above the Corsair. About 600 below the Alienware. So far I'm getting lower scores, but this also was a $300 cheaper machine. Let's type in the graphics score, 18903. So the graphics score was better on this one. So if that's the case, then maybe we'll see some better frames per second on our gameplay. 13,121. It's quite a bit lower CPU score. So this goes to show you kind of what I was talking about with the different reviews mentioning that the CPU is getting power limited. I'm assuming that it's going to be a pretty cool CPU due to this cryo chamber I was talking about in the beginning. This is pretty cool. The fact that this is a radiator here that gets all of the liquid cooled, or the liquid from the liquid cooling system up into the radiator. It transfers all that heat up into here, and it gives you access to all of the cool air within the room, versus having preheated air that's typically found inside of the boxes, the cases. So I don't know why they would be limiting the power though. Go ahead and screenshot this. All right, I think we are ready to jump into some gameplay. Gonna jump into Forza. Because that one has a great benchmark. All right, catch up on some of these questions. What's your favorite Mr. Beast video? The latest, I think the $1 million tag in the stadium was really cool. But the Squid Games, I think, what had the highest level of quality that I've seen in a YouTube video. Was pretty awesome. Did you quit your day job? I still do freelance for the company that I was let go from pre-COVID. So that makes up a portion of my income. So it's been nice to be able to do both, because I mean I like still doing renders for corporate stage design. I would prefer to do YouTube full time. I just the income isn't there yet to where I can do only YouTube full time. But I mean, as far as the amount of hours that I put within YouTube, I put more than a 40-hour work week into YouTube. So I mean, technically it's full time. My freelance work, it pays pretty decent for how quickly I can get the work done. All right, my face is covering up the screen, so I can't really see what I'm doing. What do you use to live stream? I'm using Streamlabs. Big Fish Tech, how's it going? Good to see you. Another fellow YouTuber. Great tech content. Let's go ahead and go into custom. Make sure that our settings are right. I want dynamic optimization off. I'm gonna start with let's start with a 1080p test. Unlocked, vertical synchronization off, full screen on. Looks good. Let's go ahead and save that. And now I can move my face back. And benchmark mode. I love these benchmarks that just run by themselves, so I can actually interact with you guys. I'm a little bit behind on the comments, bear with me. Yeah, the 3D Mark Time Spy, I think that would be a pretty cool game. Do you have Instagram and sometime would you like to play Fortnite with me? I actually do love playing Fortnite. So yeah, I think we could do that. Forgot what my name was on that. I agree with Alienware making good laptops. They're just beyond my budget. Yeah, they are pretty expensive. I like your laid back personality. Most YouTubers are fake. Thanks, man. Yeah, I tend to try to exaggerate, especially in the beginning of videos. I try to exaggerate my energy a little bit, just because I feel like with this new TikTok generation, people just they need something to be as quick and fast and exciting as possible in order to not click away the video. Because I think a good percentage of the people that see my videos are from recommendations on YouTube and the homepage. It's actually more than search, I think, from last time I looked at my stats. So people that aren't searching for this content, I definitely want to make sure that I'm grabbing their attention as much as possible. So I tend to like to put some extra flares and uh, exciting cuts and things like that in the beginning. What's it like being married? I love it. I mean, I love my wife. She's an amazing person. She's actually um, my second wife. There's some things that happened with the first one, but I had a daughter with my first wife. So I, I never, I, I never say bad things about her. I try to respect her as much as possible. Um, I think she's a great mom to my daughter. But the person I'm married to right now, I think she's amazing. Um, we definitely click a lot better. She's just a very selfless person. She's laid back as well. But yeah, it's great. Move to Forza Horizon 5. Is there? I'm guessing there's a good benchmark on Forza Horizon 5. It's the reason I like to stick with Forza Horizon 4 is because I want the best apples to apples comparison from all of the past other computers that I've reviewed. And it'd be hard to do that because you're adding in another variable once I add in Forza Horizon 5. I mean, I guess I could do both. I just have 14 games that I tend to do benchmarks for each computer now. I think I need to start narrowing them down because it's starting to take a toll on me as far as how many hours I have to put in to do 3 different resolution tests for every single game on 13 games. HWO Wolang, thanks for the super chat, appreciate it. Looks like I'm missing some. Bedtime, need to work on my max bench press tomorrow. Nice. What's your max bench? Need to get some hot women in summer, and my Alienware X17 will help with that too. Nice. Yeah, man, if you go on the beach carrying your X17, you look like a baller. That X17 will be like, it'll attract the chicks like bread to seagulls. Bro using the Tron light as a chick magnet. Nice. Women like Tron lights? Women love Tron lights. It gets them going. 191 frames per second. Okay, let's do a little check and see. Where's my toolbar? I need to see my toolbar in order to... Interesting. Oh, there we go. I guess my screen was too big. All right, let's jump into our benchmarks and see where that stacks up as far as HD frames per second. 191. Okay, look at this. Hey now. Oh wait, no, that's Tomb Raider. Oh, I got excited. Oh, dang it. 191. That's the lowest frames per second I've seen on Forza. But you know what's interesting is how incredibly impressive the Corsair Vengeance was. An i7 with a 3080 beat out my Aurora R13 in the HD test. So that's pretty impressive. All right, let's go ahead and jump in here. Actually do a screen grab of that real quick. Forza HD. You know what? People tend to really like 14. Max is 130 kilograms or 100 X bench. Excellent. .4K gaming on monitors sucks, to be honest. Well, unless you have a giant 4K screen, it could help. 4K definitely matters a lot for VR. You can get the higher resolution that you can get in VR, the better. But I don't think... I actually don't have a VR headset. I'm not sure what the Oculus Quest resolution is. I doubt it's 4K. Was the R13 a 3080 as well? I can't remember. No, the R13 that I tested was a 3090. So it was pretty interesting to see that the Corsair Vengeance with a 3080 actually beat that out. The Corsair Vengeance with the same exact specs as the Aurora R13 that I had was, I believe, $400 more expensive than the Aurora R13 that I had. But super future-proof. It actually has a PSU that you can easily upgrade. It's also got DDR5 and PCIe 5.0. 185 frames per second, so not that much of a drop for 1440p. Screenshot. Oh well, I won't do a screenshot for that one. And real quick, I want to see what the 4K does. Alright, I'm probably behind on some of these questions. My studio, now I've been struggling for 5 years, not just a bad time. 4K and 8K should be played on TV. I don't think 27-inch monitor can handle 4K. If you're going to buy a 32-inch monitor, so getting a TV is better. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think 4K on a laptop is completely unnecessary. The sweet spot is definitely 1440p. Never mind, I'm not going to answer that question. Fortnite username is Square Pinte. You know, I tried running the Epic. I might jump on a game with you later tonight on the second half of the stream when I'm actually doing some benchmarks. I had some trouble running the Epic game player, but I'll probably figure it out before then, or by then. Why did this not? Oh, what's going on? Yeah, that little flickering you saw, I've had that issue with my streaming card on 4K on Forza a few times, but it was just on that little menu section that I was getting that. I've had that on other computers as well. It's not due to the machine. Write down that username. Yeah, if you're going to be jumping on to the second half of the stream that starts at 9 p.m., I got to end this stream, this first part, at 8 because I need to jump on a call. But for those of you that are jumping on the gameplay only section of the stream, starting at 9 p.m. CST, going to 12 a.m. CST, it's going to be some fun times. Let me write down that screen name. Square print. Your mic is low compared to game sound. Oh, whoops. Okay. You know, I can't even hear the game sound in my headset. I forgot that that was even playing. Audio input capture. Let's turn the sound on that down, because you guys probably don't want to hear the gameplay super loud. There we go. That should be better volume. All right, so we got 155 on the 4K. Let's see. All right, so at least it beat out. Interesting. Okay, so 4K gaming, it had the fastest frames per second on Forza. So that's interesting. 1080p, it had the lowest, 4K the fastest. I'll type in the CPU and GPU temperatures later when I go back and look at the stream again. I usually kind of take the average of everything that I see. All right, let's go ahead and jump into Tomb Raider. Don't worry, I'll address some more of these comments once we jump in there. I love these benchmarks that just run automatically. That would be cool. What time will you be on Fortnite? Probably sometime after 9:30. I'm starting the second part of the stream at 9 Central Time. What games do you play? Currently, I don't have time for that many games, but every now and then I still play Halo and Call of Duty Mobile with my son, since we both are able to play that. He plays on my wife's phone, and then Fortnite I'll play with him as well. But Yeah, as far as other gameplay, it's just benchmarks on all of these 13 games that I run. So those are the games that I play these days. All the games that you see in my benchmarks. I need to I need to figure out how to manage my time, or just maybe not put so much time into each video. I'll figure it out eventually. But right now I'm kind of exhausting myself a little bit. Should I go ahead and change the settings here? Sometimes if I hit play right away, the game crashes, especially if I start it in 4K, but I haven't done it on this machine yet, so we'll see what happens. I play Call of Duty Warzone with my son. He's 8. Awesome. Is he pretty good? My 9-year-old is pretty good at Fortnite, and he's super good at um, Super Smash Brothers on his Nintendo. Really good at that. He's got a super fast moving mind. Um, so yeah, he beats me on that game. How old am I? I am 34. Yeah, I had my daughter. So my son is my stepson. He's 9 years old. I have a 9-year-old daughter as well. They get along really well. She was from my first marriage, and my stepson is from my wife's first marriage. Um, and now we have a 2-year-old together. So he's fun. He's a very energetic boy as well. But he's a happy baby. I guess I can't call him a baby anymore. He's a happy toddler. But yeah, I get that a lot, that I look a lot younger than I really am. All right, so we got, make sure the graphics are at the highest. And exclusive full screen, always turn that on. Monitor refresh, that doesn't really matter. But VSync off, okay, that should all be. I'm actually going to go down to 1080p first. Better than I am, that's for sure. Oh, my son has Smash Bros on his Nintendo Switch. Wow. Sounds like we got a pretty similar situation. Yeah, 9-year-olds love that Super Smash Brothers. It's so much faster paced than the Smash Brothers I grew up with. It's crazy. All the extra animations and effects happening. I don't know what's going on half the time that I play it. Mr. Cool Sound, I don't have a mic, so I'll have to use the Xbox app. Jacob, good night, cool nerds. Good night, man. No Nintendo for me. I suffer from autism and ADHD. I'm sorry to hear that. That sounds that sounds pretty difficult. Jacob, keep up the quality content. Justin, thank you, sir. Yeah, that does sound tough to have ADHD and autism. Do you find any techniques or methods or um, I guess medication that help kind of cope with that a little bit better? So it does sound like a pretty difficult combination. Keep up the quality content, Justin. Thank you, Jacob. Appreciate it. I have an 8-year-old and a 4-year-old twin boys already trying to get into Call of Duty since they see my son play. Yeah, Call of Duty Mobile is a pretty fun game. It's just, I mean, I love the portability of it and be able to just play it anywhere. I've gotten pretty good at it too. But yeah, my son's gotten really good at it. And my 2-year-old, he thinks he plays video games. Um, but yeah, it's just cute seeing him with the controller, thinking he's doing stuff. But still, autism and ADHD does help me understand that people don't like to be pressured and also getting nagged. So, what do you mean by people don't like getting pressured, like pressured into certain things? Mr. Cool Sounds, I'll see you at 9:30 on Fortnite, and I'm in California, so I won't know if you have the same time zone. No, California time, I believe, is 2 hours before Central Time. So that should be 7:30 your time. I take like 4 to 5 meds. Well, yeah, as long as those are helping. Oh, you know what? I forgot to put on my. I'll have to do that on the next test. I forgot to put on my overlay from Afterburner. I have Afterburner running, and I forgot to put on my overlay. I mean, I know we have the frames per second on there, but I mean, it'd be nice, even though we know that this computer runs cool, it'd be nice to see all the other stats as well, as far as CPU and GPU utilization and our temps on both of those. I'm gonna run this again with that overlay on. What's your NBA team though? Well, it's gonna have to be the Mavericks, the Dallas Mavericks. I actually used to do a lot of work for them back when I worked at the animation company, the visual effects company. A lot of we created some cool 3D animations for their Jumbotron screens. I've got Afterburner. Oh, I thought it was running. Afterburner and hardware info. Let's run this again. So average frames per second, 119. Seems a little low for 1080p. Yep, it is. It's the lowest that I've gotten at HD, and I'm going to be surprised because I have a feeling the 4K is going to be the fastest one. So we'll see what happens there. I'm going to hit my hotkey to get my overlay on. There we go. Now let's change this to... Wait, it's already set to 4K. Oh my gosh. Okay. Disregard that last test. Forza didn't shut down completely. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Wow, that's a brain fart. All right, well, we've got our overlay on. This is going to be a much more accurate test. Let's go ahead and run the benchmark without Forza also running. There's a point where mental health should be considered too. What do you mean by mental health should be considered? Because I think with him taking medication, it sounds like he's considering the mental health. Or are you talking about actual? I also have PTSD from school. Being naggy middle school sucks. Can I put the link in the LTT vid of this? Can I put the link? Which link? Mayo Ukraine get effed, I guess. What do you mean by that? Yeah, we were talking earlier about how sad everything that's going on in Ukraine is. If you guys have a little bit of money to donate, I know I've donated a little bit to, or to me, percentage-wise of my income, it's a lot of it, but I've donated to a refugee charity. I encourage you guys to do the same if you have anything, um, any extra available income or just anything that you think could help, because there's millions of people that are displaced from their homes now. I can't imagine how they must be feeling right now. Really puts my problems in perspective. So you can see the CPU 65 degrees. That's pretty cool. GPU 73 degrees. Med does nothing for mental health. I'm fine mentally in health, but I'm pretty bad anger management. Yeah, I've honestly dealt with a lot of I've had a lot of sad days since after COVID. Um, I've always had a very secure job. I've always loved the jobs that I'd had before, and when COVID hit and everything just income-wise, I was just not making any money and couldn't really find something that replaced that in the right way that I was skilled at doing. Um, there's been a lot of days that have been like pretty tough. Um, Getting back to the gym and trying to sleep better or sleep more and um, drinking enough water, spending some time outside with family. Those are some things that have helped me kind of bring myself out of um, those zones where I'm feeling upset and sad, and prayer too as well. What was that noise? All right, so we got 134. Okay, that's a better score. I can live with that. Let's go ahead and type that in. So still less than the Aurora, more than the Corsair. Now let's check out 4K. Actually, no, I'm going to do 1440p first. Charles, you seem like the type that's really laid back. Don't see you as an angry person. Are you talking about Tomo? My dad lost his job at Microsoft, but then Amazon hired him. This was in 2019 to early 2020. Yeah, it seems like a lot of people have been going through some rough times since 2020. It's cringe how no one is talking about people in Syria, Iraq, Palestine, India, and many more countries who get and still getting killed by millions. It's just cringe. Yeah, it is kind of frustrating what our news media decides to report on too. I am a little fed up with what the mainstream media decides to be news, because usually it's stuff that stirs up more division in, at least in our country in the US. They like to report on the most hateful things happening within our country, and usually they're over um, issues that are nowhere near as big of a deal as what's happening in other parts of the world. But I do think that the news media has kind of warped the minds of people in the U.S. to think very inwardly and only about our own problems, and not realize that there's a lot bigger problems out there in the world. Clinical psych doctoral student here. COVID's been tough on all of us. Lockdown sucked, and many wait weeks to months to get access to mental health services here in the States. Yeah, that, because I'm chatting, but if I get into a game like Fortnite, I'm pretty much a toxic when I'm not. Yeah, it's kind of sad for people in those countries. I'd rather support people that in those countries instead of Ukraine. Average frames per second, 133. Interesting. So it was about the same. What did I say it was on? So we only lost 1 frames per second by jumping to 1440p. That's interesting. So there's something about the Omen that you keep pushing it harder and harder and harder, and it doesn't seem to affect it as much. Because I'm guessing that when we go to 4K now, that we're probably going to get one of the best scores. Oh, that's what happened. When I went to 1440p, it took it off of the highest preset setting. I need to run that again. That was weird. All right, we're getting pretty close to that 8 p.m. mark where I'm going to need to jump on my call. But if you guys look, if you look in the link in the description, there's a link to where the second part of these live benchmarks is going to be. When this one ends, just make sure you click on that so that you can go right to the next one. And that starts at 9 p.m. CST. New subscriber. Oh, my Sally Ozkan. Thanks for joining. Welcome to the channel. So yeah, 58 degrees on the CPU. Very impressive. Amaze Productions, appreciate the stream, Jay. Your videos on the R13 supported my purchase of the system. I'll be back at 10 p.m. Central to check you out. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Or ma'am. It could be a woman. I don't know what Amaze Productions, who they are. Probably a man because I think this channel, when I looked in the demographics on my stats, it was 94% male. So there's a 94% chance I was right by saying thank you, man. Man. $133. Okay. That's weird though. The graphics on highest and high both gave us an FPS of 133. That's strange. All right, so we're going to do this 4K test. It's the last test we're going to do before we take a pause to the second stream that starts at 9 p.m. CST. Let's go ahead and run this. Thanks to you, I got myself an X17R1. Loving it. Awesome. Still my favorite PC. My favorite laptop. I mean, that RGB touchpad just topped it off. Excellent cooling. Just overall, great computer. If they could just put in that number pad and just put in, what was the other thing they were missing? Oh yeah, the secondary key backlighting. Really don't understand why that was not in there, but those two things, if those were in there, it would just be like the perfect computer. And really don't understand why the R2 speakers sounded as bad as they did. That was just... Yeah, the Cherry MX keyboard has a really nice feel to it. Yeah, I saw somebody in the comments, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, basically said that it was dumb for anybody to choose the Cherry MX because of how loud it is. But honestly, I mean, if you don't need to be in a very quiet room, I mean, that the sound is not really an issue. I mean, I love the feel. I love to feel the clickiness of the typing when I'm typing. All right, average FPS 93. Let's go ahead and type that in. It seems a bit low. It's better than the core. Oh, no, it's not low. There we go again. The higher the resolution, the more likely our HP Omen tends to perform against its competition, at least from the last 3 12th gen PCs that I've been testing so far. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and paste in the chat. I just put the link to part 2, which I'll be back here in 1 hour to do gameplay only. So make sure to check that out. Thank you guys for watching this part 1. I'll see you guys in the next one.